What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 215, being recorded on June 28th, 2023. Wow. I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
Got Bootleg Joe.
Hola.
And Grand Admiral Franz.
Hello, you wonderful people.
We almost have a full house. I'm expecting Ernie any single time.
Well, he's doing his 50th episode right now, so he's got like 70 people online with him right now.
Yeah, I think he's going for 50 hours right now. But yeah, so he might jump in here, before we end our podcast and everything. So we have a full house, hopefully going on. But before we get into all that great Star Wars stuff and the next hour is going to be so fun and do what we do, we've got our Patreons and everybody being digested in the pit to shout out. So Scott, take it away.
I got this. I got somewhere. Here's the button. All right. Yay. So a special shout out to our amazing Patreon crew. Without you, we would not be able to do this amazing thing that we do. At least I like to think we're kind of amazing, right? We're kind of all right.
So. I think so
too. So, hey, thank you very much, AJ from the Forbidden Panel, Cliff, Brandon and Anya Epler, Dennis McGrath, Don the Dad Dorn, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network, Eric Grubb, Fanboy Mike, Flavy Davey, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude, Gavin Connor from the Holy Hour All Cure podcast. That dude has seen, I think, 5 Cure shows over the last week. I'm very jealous.
Over the last week, dang.
Over the last week, yeah, it's crazy.
Stalker.
All culminated with like a third row kind of deal. It was insane.
So do they play different songs and do a different show every night?
They do.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, they've currently got like 55 songs in their repertoire that they're kind of cycling through. So it's pretty awesome. We've also got Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine, Nicholas Schaefer, Matt Logic, Ryan, and the Star Joe's podcast. And hey, I want to welcome our little buddy, Bootleg Joe, back to our Patreon crew. Thank you, Bootleg Joe. You now get a special shout out every day. But you're not getting a graphic because you're right here below me. So below me. Yeah.
We finally started taking EBT so I can start contributing them.
Hey, we appreciate it, buddy. Then digesting right now. We've got Don the Dad Dorn. We've got Ubaldo T, Rick Jones, Bootleg Joe. Hey, you're in 2 places at once. It's amazing. And Santo 1414. Everybody else, give us a shout. Let us know what you're up to. Are you ready for Indiana Jones tomorrow?
Yeah. So happy Indiana Jones Eve, everybody. You know, I know Scott's got his Raiders Lost Ark shirt on. Yeah, and it's so funny because
I got my Temple of Doom chonies.
That's right. All right.
How fitting! How fitting that
I love it.
Hey, welcome aboard Rhino Hobbies.
Yeah, so it's so funny because some people have seen it, have been screening Indiana Jones and everything, and and you got the side of the internet that's arms folded saying it's not going to make its money back, everything, and it's happening in Star Wars right now with the Acolyte, right? It's kind of going hand in hand. So the Acolyte's all up in the air too about Leslie, the director, creators being fired, and things are all chaotic. In the meantime, we got news of actors being confirmed, and they just filmed. I think they just got done filming or wrapping or doing something, whatever. So.
Finished Bad Batch right now. But you mean Acolyte? Acolyte's done, dude.
Acolyte.
It's not getting... Yeah. Is that the topic right now?
Well, yeah. As soon as I introduce Ernie here...
what are we doing here?
Look at that sweat off him. He just ran over from his show to the Sarlacc. And I think you're muted.
I don't know why I'm muted. Sorry. Yes. Definitely. Literally just ran from the other show.
Yeah,
Congratulations
no problem,
on episode 50, man.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah.
It's been going good. Had a fun time over there. Very sorry I am late. I am right here,
good.
though.
All good.
Let's get into this Star Wars talk. I don't know anything that's going on because I've been totally busy all day. Ran from work to this seat. Let's do this.
Yeah, well, congratulations on staying committed on podcasting, because that is one thing that a lot of people do is they drop after a few shows. Like, I don't want to commit and be, do this anymore. So we love to see your face on this.
It's tough to run your own thing.
It is.
It's a whole different.
Absolutely.
I like the whole just show up and sit down. That's a whole lot better.
Well, kick back, Ernie, right now. But yeah, Chris. So yeah,
So just
Acolyte.
point at me when you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go. Hey, Ernie, you're up.
Give me a cue.
It's so funny. Yeah, so Acolyte's making its rounds again, with the firing and cancellation and all these things. And it's only on two sources that I haven't seen it anywhere else. And I say sources very, very loosely. Because it's always that chance, like, okay, maybe that fly on the wall maybe that monitor or that camera that they installed in Kathleen Kennedy's office is real. It's legit, and then we'll be reporting on it when it does happen. But at the same time, you got to know where these sources are coming from. And is it to stir the pot? Is it to keep it, Is it to keep like the headline something? Because again, this isn't the first time. It's not the second time. It's not the 18th time these rumors circulate all the time, usually with Kathleen Kennedy being fired or whatever. But now
George
it's
Lucas buying back Star Wars.
Yeah,
Favreau is mad at Kennedy, so he's out. Blah blah blah. Everything goes on, and they all have our laser eyes that we have now.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
which work because people click it, right? So it's silliness. But then you come in here and you realize we're gonna blast it. So yeah, the rumor is Hedlund getting fired, right? Whilst the show is done. And they've already got, they've been into this High Republic for years. If they were going to cancel the Acolyte, they'd have canceled the Acolyte during the first
long time
ago. Books.
Yeah.
Right. This never would have hit off. Yeah. So with that done, look, I have my doubts and my worries about everything. Right. But hearing her talking on most of the stuff, I'm like, all right, I think she can get a cool dark Jedi type of dark turn vibe, Sith vibe. I think she kind of gets that, but it's hard to tell. Every time I think somebody super gets it, they blow it, right? You don't think anybody knows anything about it, they nail it. So what are you going to guess? We'll have to see it come through. Her episode of Loki I liked, right? And I like just about every episode of Loki. So I mean, there's positives, but you know why? It's because she's very much into the pride, the LGBTQ plus world, right?
Right.
She makes no secret about it. She wants to put it in the show. She did with Loki. That was the bisexual episode, right? When he kind of came out, and she said it was. They all said it was. It was fine.
Yeah.
That's why she kept it like in purple, and that the whole tone was like that pride color deal. Not that I'm not. I just how I speak, guys. Deal. And now with this, right? And now with this one, the backlash comes when she's talking a bit about it and says she will definitely bring it into Star Wars, which we knew was coming anyway. And then this is on the tail of the hiring of the first trans actress, trans person to be hired onto a show, which is this one. So that's when the people start flipping out, and then it's easy clickbait. Right, and then they're like, "Oh, easy clickbait. Let me say Hedlund's fired. Throw in this casting piece, and that's why she got fired because everybody go woke, go broke. All this stuff, and that's where clickbait comes from, man. And it's
100%, man, 100%. And then you got the
soapbox. Sorry,
no, it's a legit because then you have people out there that arms folded before they even see one shot on the screen. This is going to be trash and it's not going to make any money. And I mean, we're seeing it with Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
nobody's seen it, and it's already been like it's a flop. It's whatever. We're seeing it with other shows. We're seeing it with Marvel. We're seeing it with Star Wars. Yes, this show came out the gate saying, "Be prepared." For those of you who are this is going to have some elements of today's times into the show, being the director and all that stuff. But I think a lot of people already discarding it because of that. So they're right away to type in a headline, type in something, my source says, and this and that. And it could have a tweet of just approving what like two people in the community could just were in like Kathleen Kennedy and her could have just agreed on one aspect of something, and all of a sudden it just blows up. But again, huge grain of salt. Where these sources come from, you look and go,
that's not even a grain of salt. That's just false. That show's coming out soon. It's done. It's wrapped. They're coming through. I mean, unless Ernie heard anything through the grapevine.
Yeah, Ernie, Acolyte, you're up. Keep drinking.
He's pulling a Kermit on the side.
Yeah. Well, the name is now changed to. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Nobody's taking anything like that out. So I mean, it just sucks that these sites do that, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think we're just at that time right now. We don't have anything. We're waiting for
that's exactly it.
Correct. We're waiting for Ahsoka. People are getting crazy over it.
Yeah.
Ahsoka is very popular. Ahsoka is popular for so many different reasons, from Rebels to even way before that. She's a very popular character, and I feel this itch for Star Wars with nothing else going on. We've been through it so many times before, but it seems like it just keeps getting worse as it goes on, and we get the stories like this of, oh, I know this or I know that. And it's so hard right now with the strike going on and people's personal stuff. Like, that's very personal for people, and people don't realize that. The strike is a serious thing. And these actors and everybody is showing the support for it, and I think everybody is too. And so there is no content. So what do? You got to make it up while you're out there. Yeah. And I think enjoy, everybody's doing cons and everything right now. And there's a lot more actors who are showing up to these cons and really getting in touch with the fans. This is your chance now then. If you can't sit there and enjoy it and make something out of it, quit making up this other stuff.
What are we doing then?
It's very
entertainment.
Yeah.
Misery and anger generates clicks, though. That's the problem. It's the culture that we live in right now.
And they know that.
And I saw somebody post today a picture of Ahsoka and said, "Why are we getting this crap that nobody wants?" And I'm like,
I want.
Are you kidding me?
Have you not been paying attention?
Nobody wants this Ahsoka show. Okay. Yeah. All right. You just go. You go fold your arms.
I love that. That is the funniest thing to me ever when someone says, "Oh, nobody watches that show. Oh, nobody's this or this." I'm all, no, you don't watch that show. You don't play this game. Therefore, it's dead. You know what I mean?
They are a nobody. They are a nobody. So there you go. Nobody.
And that's why I always say, like, when they make these things, do not lump. Don't say Star Wars fans are toxic. No, we are not. Those guys are toxic, and they're not.
It's just a microcosm of the world, and it's the loud folks that make it. Right? That's all it is. And every fandom is like that. You go into a mall, and I'm like, man, can anybody be happy in anywhere? I can go into a cute puppy video, and somebody's bitching about you're treating that puppy bad. And it's like,
exactly.
Just stop. The world sucks.
Yeah. Checking in with the chat real fast. Nebulous B saying outrage is the new business model, 1 billion %, and we only have ourselves to blame because we consume this stuff. Outside people who do those click and they click on it. Like I mentioned, I got on my soapbox before about you watch them, you call them out on the floor, they don't respond to you. Why do you continue to watch them? It's because he's saying or they're saying what you want to seek out. The best knowledge is to listen to somebody else talk about something you disagree on because it's another viewpoint. And it goes on and on and on.
That's why I like when we argue.
Yeah, we might see things a little, and we might even get into it today. Who knows? There might be some controversial things but it's such in the spirit of Star Wars. It doesn't take it like I'm not doing it because I hate it. Why? I just hate it. You know what I mean? It's like no.
Get the hell off the train.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Real quick, it's going on fandoms on different venues also, like with pro wrestling. I mean, I'm a big pro wrestling fan, and there's a beautiful thing going on in AEW, and people still shit on it. And it's like, how? Yeah. How can you do that? It's like it's a breath of fresh air. But
well, and you're absolutely right, Joe. It's all on different stuff, and no matter how good that is, everybody's going to find something bad about it, right? I mean, for sure.
I'm getting prepared for it. Like I said, even with Raiders tomorrow, right? Not Raiders tomorrow, Indiana Jones, but and Ahsoka and everything moving forward. I'm getting prepared, but I'm also getting prepared for doing this show.
I'm just going in happy because everything I keep hearing like on lately anymore, like Mario Brothers, I heard was crap. It was awesome.
Yeah,
right? Avatar 2, I heard wasn't worth the time. I liked Avatar 2 better than 1. I sat there and went, oh wow, I liked it. I enjoyed that. I love Mario Brothers. I love Mario Brothers. I'm not here for anybody else's shit. I love The Flash. It was. They were all cool.
And sometimes you're wrong, Chris. So I mean, it's all out there.
Yeah, sometimes I am. You're right.
I haven't seen Flash yet.
No, I haven't. You're right. Do some work.
I want to see the Batman. Yeah.
Flash was awesome.
And it's like that too. Like I just saw the new Marvel one, the Secret Invasion.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know it was coming out.
I didn't either right away. And there are all those reports of it's starting off slow. Yeah. And it's like that. It's you got to find your niche and everything. Give it a chance of what you like. You know what I'm saying? From everything different, from DC to Marvel, or just like Joe said, the WWE to AEW. I don't watch that AEW. I still laugh at WWE like that's my soap opera.
Sure,
I need that soap opera while there is no Star Wars right now.
Yeah.
So
I think people need
that.
You take a little bit of a step back from yourself and go, okay, you're watching a show to and you're like, is it for your entertainment or is it to get on Facebook and say something either negative or positive about, like, whatever it is it you're looking for a title, you're looking for something to do after you watch a show, or do you do it and go, damn, that was awesome, and then you move on to other things, or you call your friends, or you have a podcast and you just kind of nerd out in that world, you know? So a lot of people have to take a little bit of step back from themselves and be like, what am I doing, you know? But we can make the call a million times. It's
the biggest one that I fight about still to this day, and I just turned it on again the other night. I still love Solo. Solo is a damn good movie. Yeah. To throw on and to rewatch, and it really is.
It's probably top 5 I'll just throw on randomly. Yeah. If I'm looking at
I will
Solo.
Still fight with those ones out there who say like, oh, then there's Solo.
It's just
beautiful
and
movie.
They barely watched it.
I love
Solo. It is so good. And then it makes me mad of watching that ending and there's still been no 2.
Yeah.
There's so much in that ending that I know we talk about, you know, Crimson Dawn and she went with Darth Maul. But then there's also the start of, that was basically almost right there of a start of the rebellion on some other level.
Yeah.
Right? That they can get into. Yes. That Solo.
I need more Enfys Nest. Enfys Nest
was a part of. And then, like we said, the Lando and Solo themselves. Give me that show.
Yeah.
There's so much that comes from that. That's a good example of give things a chance.
100%.
Really just give it a chance.
Can you hit Rhino Hobby's first one? Not the first one, the longer one at 8:19, Scott. I want to expand on it a bit. The even if.
Wait 1 second.
There we go.
Okay.
So even if I don't like the plot or dialogue of these shows, I'm still getting the visuals of Star Wars. I'll take that further. We're getting the lore, the story, and background in Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. So even if, like I said, execution isn't always fantastic. It's not. But if we were laid out, like if we were all to sit here right here, like we do, and we talk about the stories. If we talked about Last Jedi, we talk about Revenge of Tross. Oh my God, The Rise of Skywalker. I forgot the damn name. Well, I knew the initials. What the hell? We could do it and make it all make sense without execution, right? And they probably did in the room, same thing. So that's the same stuff. So even if we don't like it, we can sit down, we can mash it out, and make it all make sense and make it work. So it's not just the visuals, but I see the lore and stuff too. No matter what, we'll give it a chance.
That and piggybacking on, like I said, that comment, and what are you saying? What I was saying is, like, when people only see Solo one time 5 years ago when it came out or whenever, right? And then they don't revisit it. Like what we do is revisiting Star Wars lore and how everything that we get impacts everything. Like, for example, we'll probably go through Ahsoka and go like, oh my God, I want to run through everything again, because now we see things and then we put these things in our head going like, that's the stuff they're talking about. That's the character that could come into play later. And it can go back and really just kind of, as a collective. And that's what's so cool about being a Star Wars fan and what we do. We don't watch it once and be like, I didn't like it, so I'll never watch it again.
Yeah.
You're missing the point on what's given to you. Like I said, we get it, we put it in its place, and then we'll talk about, that was bad acted or what. I mean, those come in later, but it never ruins our experience to the point where when we talk Star Wars as a whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, we go through life every day, and not every minute's perfect, right? So why would all my movie be perfect? And why would their lives all be perfect? And why would it all make this total sense, So throw a curveball in there once in a while so it's not what everybody thinks. And
life doesn't have a plot line, and sometimes Star Wars
sequels don't either.
That's right.
Yes. There you go. But we still watch it because what's coming in the future, it's gonna matter,
That's right.
All right.
I do want to.
Let's get into a more positive train now. Let's jump on.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we're gonna do. So I know we got a bunch of people in the pit that jumped in. So yeah, we did get. We got Rhino Hobbies, Matt Logic. We have the Nerd Alert. We have AZ Toy Hunters Guild. We have Michael Mahoney. We have Crystal E. Nebulous B, Backyard TARDIS, and other people are just jumping in. The Sabersmith is back in here, guys. So yeah, we're getting all the collective, and so
Crystal was talking about the cool Raiders shirt, and then
Joey left.
No, there was two different Raiders. You got Indie Raiders, you got Joey's Raiders.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to say I got Batman.
The good one.
You do.
All right.
That's cool too, Crystal.
That's cool too, Crystal.
I have a plain shirt. I'm gonna go put something on. I'm bothered. This sucks.
You look like work.
Just roll up the sleeves, man.
It was.
Yeah. You've got see the tats. You've got Star Wars skin.
As soon as that's true. But as soon as I seen Chris right now, I'm like, ooh, he's writing somebody up tonight.
Yeah.
I took out a department earlier. Whole thing.
Yeah, see,
That's
right
funny,
there.
Yeah.
No.
And Mooch is always Star Wars out, but he has.
I have 3 shirts. I just put them in rotation. So.
Right, exactly. Do you know that's what I do for the week? And now I started to announce it so I don't get that comment. Is as soon as I start on Wednesday.
I have 5 of these.
So you're gonna see this mine,
Yeah.
Sarlacc, Dolls, and Boba Squadron because this is my shirt for the week.
Exactly.
Like I got to get off work and I'm going to throw it right here when I'm done, and I'm going to throw it on the next show and like that. So
I usually do that
like
too,
this.
you know. And it's so funny because like we usually, like I said, that I have a shirt that I wear. It's that Darth Vader hate dark, dark side one. I wear it all the time, and as soon as I watch it, I pull it on. And I was like, I think I wore that last week, and I think I wore it the week before, but it was 7 days in between. But I was like, okay, let me just dig this one out, and so funny. But yeah, so on a positive note, and I wanted to say something about the kind of
this
like
has been
remembering.
Sarlacc Digest fashion moment.
It is.
We
You got to hate the last.
We go everywhere. This is.
Yeah. Because
I don't
there is
think-
cool Star Wars fashion out there that I wish they made bigger sizes for dudes like me in with these cool shirts and everything. I hate in my feed when that cool shirt pops up from a button down to a design and I'm like, ooh, and I click it and it's like 1X. It's like, you really don't know your Star Wars fans, do you?
Yeah. And the button down shirts are like 2 sizes too small anyway.
Yeah.
Right? The button downs are like a medium, and that's not the same thing.
Medium.
Yeah.
The
It's
tag
very
says
true.
extra large, but it's a medium. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
That's why when we latch onto a shirt that fits, it fits.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
I can't handle the button downs. It's no good.
I did, this was I kind of forgot about this dropping on Disney Plus this week was the Mando season 3 behind the scenes. I forgot until Scott brought it up on our chat. Was like, I'm like, oh crap! Like, okay, I gotta watch it. Totally off my radar. I watched it. Yeah,
Watched it.
And is there stuff with Paul?
No.
Yes.
He's in it, but
there's pictures.
Yeah, no interview or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I stalk all those pictures, so I probably already have them.
Yeah. But it kind of goes into that whole thing about remembering why we love this and what we do. It's like as soon as and this is why sometimes I actually like in periods when I go through Star Wars, I actually like behind the scenes as equal as I watch the movies. I really dig it. Listening to like reinforcing thoughts and things that go on, especially like in season 3 where they're explaining things to you that we've talked about and we've digested. And it's just kind of like, this is why I love it. Cause we're on the same page. And then it gets those arms folded comments that are out in the ether, kind of like it goes away and you're like, this is what it's all about. Right. So I encourage everybody to watch, keep up with the behind the scenes stuff. Cause you're listening to the creators and they're speaking our language, man. Like, we're behind the mic and we're doing this, but they're creating this stuff. And it's so funny to hear Dave Filoni still reinforce the thought of like when he's creating a scene or a character, it's serving the story and a purpose. And he's not really saying like, well, the fans would love this and the fans would love that. It's no, Grogu would do this and Mando would definitely do this or not do this. And that again speaks our language because that's how we talk. Luke Skywalker would do, whatever. And
one of the coolest things I noticed was Jon Favreau speaking about writing the show.
Yeah.
And how they didn't necessarily set out to go where they went with the show. But and I know this from experience from from some times that I used to write, sometimes the story it goes in a direction and it's like, ooh, where is this going? And you've got to follow those trails to end up, eventually where you end up. Yeah. And maybe you have a goal. Maybe that goal changes. Maybe, the situations that you're writing, you see what happens in that world and things change. You don't force it. Just follow the trail,
just like
see
our
where it
theory
leads.
crafting. And you know what I mean?
It really
exactly
is.
like our theory crafting. They just make it like, all right, do it.
And sometimes it's like in The Mandalorian, in my opinion, I know there's a lot of opinions out there about The Mandalorian, but in my opinion, where it went was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It was projected from the Clone Wars where this was going to possibly go. And, I think it went in great directions. I don't get the people that don't get it.
Me neither. But how about okay? I like Marco's point of view on this, as it's kind of neat that they were saying the same thing as us, right? Which it is. But you know what I was thinking when I was watching it? how boring is this? This was already stuff we already talked about, right? There was nothing really new. They did a podcast without each other in the room.
Yeah,
right.
Like I said, it's a reinforcement.
The season 1 behind the scenes was rad. That one is missed. Season 2, 3, everything else they've done, garbage. These one episodes where they're not even in the same room and you're just doing talking heads all over the place.
I agree with that.
Nonsense.
I agree with that. That round
I don't
table
like that as much.
Was
round table was
think
epic.
though that's why they don't, because that round table. Because if you remember some of those looks that John was throwing, that was my favorite part.
Yeah. I loved it, man. But you can edit those out, dude. You know what I mean? It's like just do this. So it kind of bugged me on that, just because I'm like, damn, this is no big insight really into anything, and everybody thinks that Gideon's name is Moff.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard Skinny. I heard F Yo Mama say it, and I heard and Giancarlo said it too. Both of them, they call him Moff.
Yeah.
Well, Skinny Pete, he flexed his Star Wars knowledge by going, "That's a B2 battle droid right there on his shoulder." That was pretty cool.
No, I mean, you're right. Like, you don't have, like I said, that season 1 roundtable thing. And I, again, go back and listen, because that is a podcast of the creators discussing, the new lore and where it's going to go and all that stuff. But and like what Scott said, it was brand new to them, because I wrote this down because the first 5 minutes, Jon Favreau said, we wrote The Mandalorian as a bounty of the week episode. It was like he was supposed to just do and then it turned into all of a sudden like Grogu and all. I mean, it just went in a different direction almost immediately. And now, and then what this one does is, again, it's more like a reinforcement. It's like, the stuff that we discussed through season 3, they just reinforce their thoughts,
but not even as deep. I mean, literally, they recapped it. Right?
That's what it was. It was
100% real. 3-season recap. It was weird, and I'm like, I don't need a recap from you guys. We do that all the time. Give me something deeper. I don't know why. I always feel like we're going to get some kind of deeper meaning or what people are thinking, and a little bit of introspective into the characters more than we get. Other than no, I guess we do a bit. I guess we do. I shouldn't say that, but it's more. I guess we're just so good that I've already talked about it 10 times with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, right? I agree.
So,
I agree. I think we absolutely do that. We take it and we take it 5 steps further. Yeah. We got I think it's funny. It's like, well, at the beginning they could be a little bit loose on things and go a little deeper, but now that we're seated, we got Ahsoka spinning off on this. We've got Mando. We got all these things in this huge umbrella. They came out with all these things. I think they're a little bit more keep it to the chest and be like, look, the way we made the jetpack fly was like this, instead of like, well, these Mandalorians, we want to know about this faction and where possibly what. I was like, okay, the one thing that I would love to have seen season 3 would be like, we're going to see more of this moving on, this and that. They never said anything about season 4. Never said anything about like continuation of characters. And that's what gets me a little bit nervous.
You did have Giancarlo Esposito saying, well, you didn't see a body.
Yeah, that sucked too. If anything, that made me more mad. Don't say that.
We read that. One of our show titles should have said that. We never saw a body. That is a very, very important key on deaths in movies and superheroes and all that stuff. But I do think, like, what that this behind the scenes kind of wraps it up too, because we're going to get something kicking off brand new come season 4.
Yeah,
I
think the drag on it for me is because remember the first season when we were doing this show, and I talked about how I don't even like behind the scenes shows.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then when that came out, I'm all, that was the coolest behind the scenes show. I really enjoyed that behind the scenes show, and then take it away from me
because it was insight.
Yeah, it was neat. It was just deeper than all this crap, and it was episodes long, not just an hour. When they
Kenobi
do Ahsoka,
was like that too.
It was, and that's a drag too, because you could have went deep into that. Now Ahsoka is a whole Rebels background, a whole Ahsoka background. They better not whip that into one. And Thrawn, right? I want a couple behind the scenes episodes, but whatever. We'll see how.
Well, one thing they do, if like I said, I encourage everybody to watch the behind the scenes, not just because it's fun and it's like I love it. I think makes me really want to be part of that team and stuff.
Does show how awesome we are.
Yeah. But it also, like, it does kind of get people who didn't go into Clone Wars or Rebels or Ahsoka or Bo-Katan, all that stuff. It does kind of like reinforce and encourage people, like, this is where we pulled this stuff from. George Lucas had this and we have this vision. So it does a lot of things, maybe not outright, but on, you know, below the surface, there's still a lot of information there that people can gather and really, you know, put together in their heads where this world is coming from too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The thing that I really liked also is you see other perspectives from the camera. So you see Bo-Katan and Din Djarin walking up to Axe Woves and all of them sitting there, you know, in their fleet, and they're going to, you know, recruit the fleet. You know, Bo-Katan's going to take back her fleet. But the opposite camera, you see they're just like in a park down the street. There's all the trees with the sticks holding the trees in the ground. And I'm like,
yeah,
what the hell?
There's like a disc golf course in the background, you know.
I see power lines and stuff. It's like, what the? They're on Earth, really? It's crazy. Neat. Yeah,
that part was cool. I know it's the same exact thing. Well, they're in a park.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Imagine seeing it shot like we might have drove by it or something. Yeah, like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh look, no. Oh, is there a con going on, or are those people LARPing? Like, what is going on there? Like you said, because it's just a park shot, right? Like,
a gigantic blue
screen. Those guys are. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, it was there. That's amazing.
That's crazy to me. But one of the things, and I know this episode got a lot of crap, but the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo, the spotlight on that, I was like, I love these people. You see Lizzo go to work wearing a Grogu hoodie, and there's pictures of her in like costume dressed as Grogu. So weird. But then, you see them interacting with the characters and interacting with the puppet.
Yeah.
And they reiterate what like Jon Favreau said, or what was his name? The client, Herzog, what Werner Herzog told Jon Favreau, trust the puppet. Don't do CGI. Trust in the puppet.
Best advice ever on this show.
And then you see Lizzo and Jack Black interacting with the puppet, and you see the puppet taking direction and moving. Yeah. It's just mind-boggling.
When I was watching that part of it, it made me, I felt good. Like I felt, I just felt like this is so cool to have these kind of things, because again, you know, once we step away from this, and like I said, idle minds, things start popping into our peripherals and feeds and everything, and it's kind of like it gets old and tiring that when you do see these kind of stuff and they're having so much fun and you kind of go, yeah, I get it, man, like I love it, I'm gonna watch it episode again, and it's like this whole blurring the two worlds of production and actual what we get, you know. And that's, again, I like it because it brings it back to why we do this, why we're Star Wars fans in the first place and all that. So
yeah. Backyard TARDIS saying, I get what you're saying, but I work 13-hour days. I don't have time to rewatch Star Wars I didn't enjoy, but I will listen to people talk about it.
I hear you. That's fine. Okay. Backyard. I have maybe 5 times I've watched Force Awakens, 3 times Last Jedi, maybe a full 3 times on Rise. And that's over the years that it's been out. Okay. It's not that I only did it because maybe I was just, I don't know why I did it. I do not like the sequels. I don't like them at all, but I can't take the lore and throw it away. I can't take it and not talk about it when we talk, when we talk Star Wars stuff. So if
you were given an opportunity, they would do a gallery on each one of those and go behind the scenes and talk the story through. It probably
I would watch them
for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. I would watch them. Honestly, I would watch it because maybe it would. Because I have a thing like what, like we need, like J.J. Abrams needs to come out and say why he did certain things and why it was paced this way and what's that, because it's like what were you thinking doing it so easy and doing things, and where's your decision to not use Luke Skywalker? You know what I mean? Like why what's the reasons? So I get what he's saying. If you didn't enjoy it, you don't. It's a hard thing, even though if it's part of the lore and stuff. It's like Iron Man 3. Who watches Iron Man 3? I mean, I don't when I do my marathon, but
it's like Attack of the Clones. Who doesn't watch Attack of the Clones? I don't watch it.
No, I do watch Attack of the Clones, but
I watch Attack of the Clones on Mondays.
It's Mondays.
That's your Monday show.
Yeah, but I totally understand the comment, dude. I really do. And my whole thing is like, as long as you're not throwing it all away, because you didn't like it or it's not important. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
That's why I don't watch Avatar. I don't watch Avatar because I didn't enjoy the first Avatar. I don't give a damn about Avatar.
Yeah, but you don't do a podcast on it. And you don't have that in your daily lives either. So
nope.
Like with us, having that, like I said, that's moviegoer stuff, right? Star Wars, it's its own thing. So it's hard to be like, it's like I'm gonna watch Star Wars and then like watch 2/3 of it, skip an eighth, and then watch the rest of it. And it's like,
I'll stop describing how I watched The Last Jedi. Skip Canto Bite, and it's pretty good.
All I do is I think about, okay, this happened. Okay, next movie. So, without watching, I watch it without.
Once you get there, you're done.
Yeah.
Once you get to the point where you're skipping things, you're done.
That's true. That's true. We lost Joey. Oh no! So I know he was going in and out. So
he might come back. I saw him freezing there for a second.
Okay. But yeah, that's you're right, Chris. As soon as you stop watching, then like I said, I've said it before. Like now you're a movie fan, and you kind of like you don't have this in your daily lives and consumption of lore. You can still collect, and you can still do all these things. But again, it's because we still, even like I said, I don't go out of my way to watch the sequels, but I understand them and I understand what they did, and I still talk about them if we need to talk about, like we'll reference them. But I probably won't put them on,
But the longer this Disney Plus series, these Disney Plus series keep going, the more it adds to that lore and the more it's building on all of it. Maybe not in ways we thought, though, because I could have sworn we were looking at Snoke clones, not failed Gideon clones. But it's.
I think it's both. By the way, I think it's both. I think.
The
facility at the end of season 3 was the Gideon facility, but then So and that's the directions. Like I said, I would love, because it's that he pulled it for himself. He got and did this, but there was this bigger picture going on. So, but speaking of creating content that's going to bridge Star Wars on the bookends, Kathleen Kennedy came out and said, and we have the quotes. We have the quotes of Miss Kitty Cat, everybody's favorite executive producer.
Do you want me to pull this up for you?
Yeah, go for it. Because there's two parts here.
Yeah, we'll go with the main section of it really quick. All right, so we've got Kathleen Kennedy. Speaking to Empire, Kennedy added, "The First Order has fallen. The Jedi are in chaos. There is even a question of how many exist anymore. And Rey's building the new Jedi Order based on the text that she was given and that Luke imparted on her." She also offers, "Rey has made a promise to Luke, and that's really the core of where we're going and what this story will be. And I think it offers us tremendous opportunity to introduce new characters and start with something fresh, like they should have done before, because we culminated with what George Lucas was creating, and now we have to take all of that and move it to the next chapter."
Yeah.
Cool. That's kind of what we thought it would be anyway, right? I mean,
pretty much
100%. And a lot of it is, and I've said this, and it kind of goes hand in hand about the sequel comments. Is the new stuff that they're moving forward is almost like the stuff that they should have done, but they're bridging it in a different way. Yeah, like this text was like, this is exactly what should have taken place after Return of the Jedi, about the rebuilding Jedi Order and the Fallen, and when she says the First Order, we just plug in Empire, and it's like, okay, but we got the sequel movies, and now we're going to get this other movies that the sequels did happen, but it's like, here's like this rebooted version of, but in a different way, not so much in your face a reboot, but it's kind of like, this is the story, but they're using Rey and they're using Luke proper, maybe hopefully this time, and right, so it's like this.
People talk about Force. Ooh, maybe we'll see him in a Force Ghost. And if you think about it, Force Ghosts only do one thing in Star Wars, and that's pop up, impart a couple lines of wisdom, and disappear and never come back. So I don't know how much interaction that Luke is going to really do. I mean,
but that's what we want.
That's exactly what we want, but we want it done better. Because we
don't want him to come and just what he did in Rise of Skywalker is just erase what he did in Last Jedi. As far as like, this should be held with more responsibility and go out and fight, versus in Last Jedi, throw this away, run and run and run. So it was just kind of fixing that comment. So he never parted any wisdom on her, other than just there's my X-wing and go after him.
Right.
So here's an opportunity to kind of like get more deep into it.
Kind of weak.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, what Yoda did in The Last Jedi is exactly what Force Ghosts do. They pop up, they give you tidbits of wisdom, and then they fade away and let you go on your own adventure. And that's kind of not what Luke did. Luke showed up. He talked a little, as Mark Hamill Mark Hamill did a thing and then he disappeared.
Although, Yoda and Obi-Wan in the books and stuff do tend to communicate quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
In certain point of views and things. So it's not out of the ordinary to have a Force Ghost around just to chit-chat or talk about the state of the universe. Or
I'm reminded of Big Bang Theory when Sheldon has Professor Proth on it, and he's like, why am I here? Impart wisdom at certain pivotal points. I'm just like, I don't know. I just went through my head going like, that's exactly how Force Ghosts work.
And there's a deli on Dagobah.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, 100%. Like I said, I think that they have a golden opportunity to kind of like take Rey's character, and she's going to act like the Luke character that we kind of expected after Return, and then the new, but in a new way, in a new.
It makes sense. Mark Hamill was too old. Mark Hamill was out, right? It's like you couldn't make him younger and building the first Jedi Order. You couldn't do that. Right now, 30 years later, it wouldn't make sense for him to do this. It works perfect. As much as I want to argue about it and be the sequels or the path is kind of what had to happen age-wise anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Captain Jack says the Jedi texts were burned. There's one Jedi left, hence The Last Jedi. Now, if you rewatch The Last Jedi, you see at the very end, Rey is looking for a blanket. She opens up a drawer and somebody's looking for a blanket. They open up the drawer and in there are all the Jedi texts that Luke had. She stole them.
That's why Yoda said, already does Rey have what she needs?
Right.
Yep.
He was being
all there.
Slide
right.
Luke.
And then the whole Last Jedi comment was when like everybody in the world thought Luke was the last, but it turns out, like Luke was the one that says, I'm not the last Jedi. The rebellion is reborn, all this stuff, and Rey and everybody.
There is no Last Jedi. That's the key, right? There is no Last Jedi.
Right. Yeah. And the term Jedi might go away in the future.
We thought so, but I doubt it. Now it's New Jedi Order. Why change it, right? Because then you're not Star Wars anymore at that point.
I agree. I 100% agree. 100%. Like
if we're going forward, if it would have had to stop for it to be something different, and going forward, they had to be Jedi.
Yeah,
I don't think you necessarily need Sith. I think, I mean, unless you go with like Star Wars Legacy, those comics and the way they went with Darth Krayt and all that.
The rule of one, that stuff like that. Like when they got into the rule of one, there was only one.
No. Darth Krayt had an army of Sith acolytes.
No, I know, but like,
Oh,
how the Sith progressed, just like the in the EU stuff. Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah,
but dude, there's so much. So I get excited, and then I get excited about her next comment too, because this was like, okay, now we're getting into what, like piggybacking on TARDIS and all that stuff was like. This is with the overall sense of enjoying Star Wars content. So that second clip.
Let me get my kitty cat voice going.
Okay,
Okay, here we go. While Rey's movie is all about the future, Mangolds will look like the distant look to the distant past. But according to Kennedy, the two share surprising connective tissue. It was something that Jim Mangold immediately sparked to. And I think it's really nice compliment to what we're doing with moving into the future with Rey and then understanding a bit more of where this all came from, she explains. Because it will be at the heart of creating the new Jedi Order. So to get a real sense of where that might have began with the Dawn of the Jedi could be pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, how can you not like that comment? How can you like that sentiment of Star Wars bridging, the beginning and where we're going instead of like kind of doing its own thing, right? Like Chris said, if you get too far, it's not Star Wars anymore. But if this is a bridge and they're using Mangold's movies and the Dawn of the Jedi with the new Jedi Orders and 30,000 years, and we have all these, the Skywalker saga in between and all these things, how can you not like that comment of the direction of where their headspace is, right?
You're going to have the beginning and the very end that we know, right? Because nothing will go beyond the new Jedi Order. So you have and then you're able to just fill in with set parameters. Now you can just fill in everything. Right? It's so awesome. And I'm 25,000 years to fill in.
I'm so looking forward to what the connective tissue is. I'm like
25,000 years is the equivalent of a multiverse as far as story length, right? You have tons and tons of stories to go. Just like DC and Marvel could never end the stories because you can just multiverse it. Star Wars has 25,000 years to fill. So that's freaking
this is stuff that I know I harp on Tales of the Jedi, the old comic book, a lot, but that's what they did really well is they had those tales from thousands of years ago, and then they tied them into Luke's Jedi Academy, with Exar Kun and all that. It all connected together, and that's exactly what I want to see stuff.
I bet that's going to holocrons and the like, right? Temples and holocrons and hell yeah.
Yeah,
that's the badass stuff right there. I love that kind of Force lore.
Absolutely. And we had Tython introduced in The Mandalorian, and Tython is the very first world that had Jedi on it.
Right.
So, and then Luke, had the first Jedi temple on Ahch-To, but
the notion that we get to explore the Force and Force users and what's this things that people are, beings across the galaxies gets connected to, gets plugged in, and how the journey to the new Jedi Order is how they fashion and weaponize it and politicize the Force to Jedi, Sith, and how that's ruling how it's kind of like rules fate and all those things, and then where it can like go. It might have to come full circle, right? Like it has to be something we haven't explored before to move on in the future. But it's just cool how it's going to be like we have this tool. And then we weaponized it, we politicized it, and now we have to get back to its purity. And so that might be that connective tissue that from the beginning to the end kind of stuff.
And I get excited about Dawn of the Jedi because there has to be a catalyst. There's got to be some kind of catalyst that makes them say, okay, we need to set up these parameters. We need these rules so the universe doesn't fall into complete chaos. Something's got to cause that. And that in the idea that ball gets rolling in that movie and that we could see the ramifications in the far future.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love it.
And like I said, how it just got out of hand in the next 25,000 years was just chaos with this knowledge of the Force. And now we got to get back to like, the harmony, like the songs, it calms, and to be really at peace, it has to, be unwielded.
Yeah. And
maybe that's
the High Republic. The High Republic is like the height of Jedi at their most, like the zenith of their power and whatnot. And that was still, 300 years before A New Hope? So what the hell happened before? Right? What was it like before the High Republic? We're gonna find out, I hope.
Let's find out. Let's find out together. Right.
It'll be after I die.
No, and it better not be in a comic book. I want to see it live.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm almost done with it. Like, stop with the comic books. I want these stories over here. Stop screwing with the comics. Too much for me to handle.
I mean, as much as we love content, and we always said this from the beginning, we get to read the comics and there's books and stuff, but sometimes it's like it gets way out of hand, and it gets a little redundant. It's on repeat a lot of times because some of the comics and books there's no ramifications in the canon continuity at all. It's just a fun little side adventure.
Because when you're inside the trilogy, nobody can die.
That's right.
Yeah. That's
right.
No
like,
risk.
What's the real danger when they kidnap Leia?
Who's going to get Han's carbonite body? I know.
Because eventually it goes back full circle, right?
And Boba's alive, and he's I know where he goes.
Yeah, and that's
but. You got a great point though with all the books, and it's like the High Republic. Like I've been reading or listening to the audiobooks of the High Republic. I turned on my car this morning and it started playing, and I realized I haven't listened to it in a week and a half, and I completely forgot that I was listening to the High Republic. And I'm like,
forgettable.
It's been a week and a half. I should at least have that somewhat fresh in my mind. And I'm just like, I am so bored with that third book. It's
I don't know how we're going to do this, but we need to get some sort of recap before the Acolyte drops, right? Because the Acolyte is tied into it. Yeah, we need some sort of fifth to task somebody to do it. Scott and Chris.
I know. Hey, that's what Wikipedia is for. I could just go. I don't like to do that though. I like the first.
Yeah, I'll get through them. It's just.
I don't want you guys to go at it alone. I'll try.
We have a minute until the Acolytes. Hey, you know what? Public service announcement. We do love Star Wars. I know it doesn't sound like it all the time, but we do.
Very much so.
This is what you call passion talk.
Yeah. This is passion. Constructive criticism. Honestly, it's not hate. It's not. We're not.
No, it's 100% not arms folded. Dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The problem I'm having with the current High Republic set is it's too small of a story. It's yet to hit that big galactic thing.
Doesn't feel like it's a galactic.
But yet there's so many people in it.
Yeah, there is. Well, you remember I've mentioned the Lord of the Rings all the time. I know Mooch loves Lord of the Rings. It starts off at a very small story in the Fellowship of the Ring, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Opens this world. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, all three of these books so far, we're still in the Fellowship of the Ring, the first couple chapters. It hasn't grown yet. We haven't found the rest of Fellowship. We're not on our way to Mordor yet, and I'm getting, it's been
in the middle of
21 hours of my life.
Yeah. Backyard TARDIS in it. I like Phase 1 of High Republic, but no interest in Phase 2. I was kind of like I read the first 2 books, and I was like, this is different. It doesn't really feel Star Wars for me, but it feels still different. But then I kind of fell off trying to get into like the going off that. I was just like, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know. So I had to stop. I was like, I can't. I have to wait until
if it wasn't spread out between books, comics, and all of that nonsense, if they would have just kept it focused, I think it would have been easier to follow.
Give me a book every 6 months, and I would have been on it, or 3 months, or whatever. Every
I agree with that.
Book, and I'd have been cool.
But where we're at right now, it's the founding of the Nihil, and I honestly don't care. It's not that interesting.
So you say that, and like you said, and I go like, that'd be cool. But then if the read is boring, or if it doesn't do anything, then it's like it's a letdown. But I would read because I love the Nihil and the introduction of it.
But the Nihil are the equivalent of the Sons of Anarchy in Star Wars. I mean, that's essentially what the Nihil are.
Right.
And the founding of the Nihil, they're a religious sect, and they are set to just causing chaos in the galaxy with all Force users and to take the Jedi out. And I'm like, but how does that lead into the other thing? And
like, but why though? But why though?
We haven't even gotten there. Two books in. Two and a half books in, and we're not even at the why.
Yeah.
What's your angle, Boba?
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
You want to do this?
He's Boba Fett. He was letting everybody know.
I knew that would wake him up.
Leave him alone. Yeah. I'm just, it's just, I hear all this and everything. And like you're saying, not wake up, but I'm not into the books. I don't need the book aspect of it. And it's a lot of people are there right now. But on the other end, there are still more who are yelling at the screen right now saying, you guys don't get it, because they're really into the books.
Sure.
And they've always have been. You know what I'm saying? So
it's
always
we,
like we were saying earlier. Yeah. But there's something that needs to go on, right? Because you both are book lovers, and we get that. And it comes to this point. So sometimes that story really does need to catch up and get to the, here it is, and it's not happening. Yeah. I do wait for you guys to talk about it, to hear it.
Yeah.
But I'm not the one who's into the books, and I haven't got into the comics at all yet. I'm just so invested. I feel like with time wise, I only have the time to check out the Disney Plus stuff.
Dude. So 100%. And like, and you got to, like, I was reading Backyard TARDIS's last comment about Star Wars Theory and how he gets hate and stuff about, stuff that he expresses his negative comments on. My only, like I said, my own thing is like, we got to get into this place. Well, okay. I'm there just because why we do this podcast and why we talk and we do these things. But I would love, let me just put it that way. I would love for the fandom to get into a place where we talk Star Wars and we don't talk how, political stuff on how it's made, who's in it, who's involved, who said something in an interview, what rumors going on over here, what rumors going on over there.
Or just
when we talk, when we talk negative, it's a constructive thing about the story on like, I don't like that direction of the story, but that's where it's going. And we'll talk about those bits in and out and then where the story can go. And that's what made me a fan and made me connect with other fans. It wasn't just go in there and go, you hate Kathleen Kennedy, I hate her too. So because she screwed this up and she's putting these in and she's got this agenda. We just look at what's on screen, what's given to us. We're not the creators. We do these things. And so if we get on our soapbox, it's about the story, but it's not a like it's just like, I just didn't like that direct, but here's the direction it went. So how can Luke do this and Rey do? I mean, it's like a whole thing, and that's what's fun. Getting back to the fun of the overall story and talking about that. When we bring up rumors, it's because we are concerned about the production of Star Wars. We're concerned about the legacy and the history of Lucasfilm, right? And Disney has it, and where it's going to go, because we want more content. We want things to be successful because we want it to be good. We don't just put out content and slap Star Wars on it and then call it a day. No, if you can't make it good, then don't make it at all. That's my thing. No, so that's, like I said, my soapbox on addressing where we need to get back to, as a Star Wars fandom, so.
Hey, hang on a second, Mooch. This is late. Sorry about that, man. Sorry, I forgot.
And that was the Moocher's rant, Well, I'm not mad at it though, because I understand the times we live in. I understand people are seeking out things and they get passionate about real life issues coming into their entertainment. So I understand that people will get upset and explode on things and bring in real life in it. But I like to get back to talking about enjoying it and then doing a constructive talk on
been hard to
why Luke Skywalker threw
the December release of The Last Jedi.
It's
been hard since.
Why did he throw the lightsaber over his shoulder? That's what I want to talk about. Luke, not that Rian Johnson ruined everything and he wrote that in to mess with everybody.
With Luke?
Exactly. I want to say, what the hell was wrong with Luke? That's where the line's different. That's where,
Watch, we're gonna end up getting Mara Jade in here soon. You're gonna realize she got killed and Ben did what he did.
Yeah,
and,
man.
Then that's why he lost it by the end.
Yeah. Let's go. Like I'm good.
He wasn't telling anybody the story about Ben until he got pushed. Why would he talk about Mara? And I'm not even a big Mara Jade supporter, have her get in here. But I'm like, anything could happen now.
Yeah. But
cool.
But
Rian Johnson gets a lot of crap for what happened in that, but it was a layup done by J.J. Abrams. It was a layup to a dunk right there. That's why else would Luke not be there in the first place? Why would he have run and hid? Anyway,
the one thing Rian Johnson did was engage in keyboard combat with the haters out there. He engaged, and if he didn't engage, and if he just went in and talked about his decisions and stuff like that, like this, and I see Luke doing this, I think it would have been a huge conversation. A different conversation, and I think it would have been different. But he engaged, and he, and I was like, dude, don't do that. Like, I don't even
anytime they fight back,
and he was aggressive at it, and that was the height of the Disney takeover, and that's why Disney's getting this. It's Lucasfilm, but Disney's getting this bad rap because
they own them. So
it's just like, come on, guys, we're gonna see Indiana Jones tomorrow. We should be happy about that. I know it gotta be better than Crystal Skull, man. I mean, it's gotta be like they've got to learn their lesson from that.
I keep seeing these headlines of that's it, Disney has finally ruined Indiana Jones, and I'm like, did we not see Crystal Skull? Are we just forgetting that Crystal Skull exists? Come on, people. So. And I know I get a lot of crap for this. I just watched Crystal Skull again the other day.
Sure.
The first 2/3 of that movie is a great Indiana Jones movie. Once they hit the jungle, it goes to shit. Yeah. It never comes back. It just falls apart.
Jungle's bad.
But the first 2/3 of that movie are a great Indiana Jones movie. And it feels like a continuation from The Last Crusade, where it was a little more lighthearted, not quite the sense of danger that it was still on par with that. But man, once they hit that jungle and the monkey swinging starts and giant killer ants come at you, it just it completely fell apart and became a bad cartoon. It wasn't even a good cartoon.
It became slapstick Indiana Jones, and
it was Super Friends in the 1970s. It wasn't 1990s Batman. There's the difference between those two cartoons, right? Hey, I loved it too back in the day, but
Chris and I camped out.
The Legion of Doom coming out of the swamp. Come on,
that's cool.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
That's right. Meanwhile,
I love it. There is one DJ out there who uses that constantly. Yeah, he goes by DJ Green Lantern. And he uses that in all his stuff and his cuts. I love hearing his mixes just for that.
Yeah.
Just to hear that. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, it's like, yes.
Right. Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah. And then between his mixes too, he uses the star shot, to change from the Transformers. He uses the Justice League.
It's
what I'm talking about. Yes. Yeah.
We got way off topic here, but
love that.
I want a movie that does that, a live action movie that just puts in high fan. I've said this and I've said it to him blue in the face, but So, Backyard TARDIS's comment. This is actually pretty accurate. His issue with the High Republic is it gave him blue balls. The first trilogy has the Empire Strikes Back ending, and now it's a prequel book. I want the conclusion first. It seems that's the sentiment where it's
we're all there
promising a lot of things and nothing happens. And then you go,
where's Burryaga? What happened to Burryaga? What the hell? There's a lot of questions still up in the air. and they prequeled us. Yeah.
Right. And also back, I know you're behind on, so I appreciate you hanging in with us, man. And the whole purpose of doing, the podcast and having a live chat and stuff is to engage and to get everybody's opinions in there and just kind of,
but don't watch us at 2 times speed though. We all sound like chipmunks. It's not.
Do we know? We don't know that the Wookiee in Acolyte's not Buryaga, right?
There is a name.
They didn't say no.
It's not Buryaga.
And it doesn't have to. They also could have faked
it. If I can find out.
That could be cool if they hid that because Wookiees get old.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. While you're looking that up, Captain Jack, it might be it might not be fair. But I docked points off the sequels for crappy toys. Star Wars toys is one of the biggest parts for me. Crappy toys also stems from being boring designs. You cannot be any more right on that statement. I am. I've decided that I'm going to bring, remember when I was doing the Moocher Mondays, I only dropped like 3 episodes. It's been a long time. But so once a month, I'm going to drop the state of Star Wars toys, like the address, the state of Star Wars toys, where we're at, what's coming out, what we've done, what we want, and where's the sentiment around the campfire on that. So starting this Monday, the first episode is going to drop. So the first Monday of every month, we're going to do that. And I'm going to address something like that too, where, why we have incomplete collections and whatnot. And it never used to be about that, so it's a good thought process that you're giving me there, Captain Jack. So, and you're 100% right. Dude. Yeah.
Kelnaka is the name of the Wookiee in the Acolyte. That is what they're currently saying.
That's his last name. Sure of it.
Does Buryaga have a last? Okay, you're making shit up. Okay. I'm like, okay.
Chewie does. I forget what it was. Son of blah blah blah. But they were gonna say it in Solo, remember? And he was supposed to say.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he just said Chewbacca.
They cut it. Yeah, it was supposed to be Chewbacca. Blah 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 blah. Son of blah blah blah.
Right. So yeah, Matt Logic. This is one of the things in the Moocher Monday that will be coming up. We'll be addressing. So what's the verdict on the young Jedi toys?
I haven't seen them yet.
Oh, I think they're cool. I think they're cool for kids. If my kids I'd have knocked them out. I'd have had them.
There's a little ship that is actually in scale with the vintage collection. I want to see what it looks like.
Oh, yeah. These little figures, yay big and little fat, cool little.
Like Yoda. I said, I actually want the younger toys out there for kids to get into it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I tried watching the episodes, and it really truly is a children's show.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
Good, which is good. Yeah. So I hope that it continues.
There's a place for it.
Good.
Absolutely.
And takes off. Yeah.
Yeah, but, you get a couple years. You get a couple years of one, right? Like everything else, then you start getting your fan base back and younger.
Correct. Right. Yeah. You're growing them young to show them these cutesy Jedis. I guess that's the best way I can put it. And their teamwork together, and
the teamwork, the notion of teamwork. Yeah,
represent the Sith with that bad guy and his double baton that comes out.
Yeah,
you know what they're shooting for. It's not a Sith bad guy, but just
it's the Muppet
character.
Babies of Star Wars. It really is the life lessons.
I don't think you could say that because Muppet Babies was awesome.
Yes, it was.
I am down to watch Muppet Babies anytime. I'll still turn it on. And even when they did Raiders or they did some Star Wars stuff,
loved
Muppet Babies.
Yep.
Yeah, but I meant like the whole life lesson at the end. Like we learned something in teamwork and diversity day, right?
Yeah.
Like the Office tried to teach us.
Yeah. And now I'm going to watch Muppet Babies tonight.
Yeah, Muppet Babies.
No, I watched the first 6 episodes of that thing, and I'm like, I can see why kids would like this.
Yeah,
click off. Okay.
Well, sure. I mean, but it has its place, And I said I think Star Wars has room for everything from toddler toys to adult statues. It has its place.
Yeah, we don't have to collect them or watch it, but there needs to be a fan base to grow so we have it later because we're all going to die eventually.
My 2 cents on the toys is, in all honesty, guys, there hasn't been kids getting into Star Wars in a long time because we're still the ones buying all those toys.
Right.
I have never seen a kid. I've been doing
and
sales
the prequel
at a show every month. And I have 3 3/4 figures out there, and I have Black Series figures out there, and the kids walk by them and go straight to Riley's yarn things that she's made up. So
where is this show, and why don't I know where the 3 3/4 inch figures are? I mean,
no, I'll get all into it. And it surprises me, and that's what I've come to the conclusion of, especially when we're hunting ourselves in stores. Those kids don't have that knack anymore to say that they want Star Wars figures.
No, I don't see them in that section. They're in the
correct, right? Yeah. So
video
to
game
have
section.
these out there and this new kid show, I am all for it because, like you said, hopefully it's producing.
You got to build it like
version again.
You got to build that nostalgia trip, right? Like we are a nostalgia generation. I mean, they throw in Indiana Jones toys, we're buying them. You know, I mean, like no kid's gonna buy Indiana Jones until if this movie could kind of kick on something. But you need to start that. Like I had those when I was a kid, and they were these little bubbly toys, whatever, and they grows into like this collecting spirit later on. You know, it's almost like if we have to make this generation on repeat. You know what I mean? Like everything in the toy stores now has been in toy stores 40 years ago. Or 30, you know, like 35 years ago. Same toys, same IPs. I mean, there's really no different IPs from when we were kids.
G.I. Joe, He-Man, everything is on the shelves.
It's the same stuff.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And the movies every year are the same movies from 30 or 40 years ago.
The hits that are in the
Indiana
summer.
Jones going on with a Michael Keaton Batman in the theater. You know,
and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in another couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous, but cool.
Yeah,
exactly. And how do you do that? You have to give them. Yeah, Chris Louise said kids don't play with action figures like they used to. However, my nephews love their lightsaber fights. Absolutely, violence always, it's always trumps up play. But in all seriousness, the generational thing of pop culture has to reinvent itself every so often. I think. We didn't invent. Our generation did not invent pop culture. We consumed it, and now it's our turn.
We perfected it.
Well,
we perfected pop culture.
Yeah. We consumed pop culture.
Well, we perfected it. Are you kidding me?
What do you mean perfected?
We got Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, He-Man, all the stuff that's being recycled.
Yeah,
all started
and the Transformers, G.I. Joe, bad. Teenage Mutant Turtles, bad. They're not perfecting it at all.
No.
So
nostalgia, the pop culture is what he's saying, not the greatness of the story.
But we never invented it. You know what I mean? Like we were the kids that consumed it, and so now it's our duty to reinvent it for the generation that's growing up now. You know what I mean? Like we didn't make Star Wars, we didn't make Ninja Turtles, we didn't make all that stuff. You know, we were born into it. You know, we consumed it. So
my
the stuff that's trying to get out now.
Even my kids watching that when they were growing, they're not nostalgic about it. They're nostalgic. Right. We watch Ben 10, they get nostalgic.
Right. They have their own little segments of it. Like they have their own nostalgia, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying and everything. So it's just fun to, you know, we'll see.
Sabersmith is right. Spider-Verse hit #1 last weekend. Is very deserving.
Absolutely.
It is. And then to go to that too, if we look at it, that is a different, very art form of movie. And the animation art is very different on what they show. And these kids are accepting of it, you know,
so
compared to what we had.
Spider-Verse was #1, then Flash knocked it down, but then Spider-Verse came back and knocked Flash back off its pedestal.
Yeah, Flash dropped like
it's still that popular. I think my daughter Riley, I think, has seen it like 3 times, and I still have it. It's her favorite right now, and
nice.
I still haven't even seen it once. I want to, correct? Yeah. I just haven't had the chance to get out there. At all. So
did you see the big rumor was that since it bombed, what if it didn't bomb? We were our next like offshoot movie with Batman. We were going to do a Batman Beyond. I don't know how true it was, but
I mean that would be great.
But since with Keaton, since Flash bombed so hard, it's not going to happen, which is fine. Whatever, but.
Come on, Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton as old Bruce Wayne.
It would have been
that would have been awesome.
And then I don't understand how they just don't make it like it doesn't have to be a movie. You can see how this streaming services of episodes has turned out. So do that then. Put it out that way.
And he knows because he has Peacemaker.
Yeah, Warner Brothers in DC though, other than Peacemaker, is a shit show. It really is.
Yeah, it's hard. That's what I'm saying. It's hard. They haven't caught on to that stuff, and so we need to do this or quit this, and we'll reinvent that. Well, you need to stay on long enough to let something happen.
Yeah. Well, like I said, to me, I see a little bit of a gray area when people say like the Flash bomb. Like I'm extrapolating my sentiment throughout the community because I still want to see it. It's nothing's deterring me. Like it's a bad movie, good movie to see. I was going to see it anyway. I just can't bring myself to go to movie theaters anymore unless we go as a group and we do see Indiana Jones. I hate myself for that. Like I used to be involved. I used to do that a lot. And like I said, I'm taking that, myself and kind of extrapolating that. I don't think like a movie bombing these days. I know people go see Spider-Man. I know that, but I don't take it to 100% that because a movie didn't do so good, it's just because it's bad. It's just that no one's going to the theaters and are waiting for streaming.
I don't buy that only because we have billion-dollar movies all the time, right? We have all these, but Mario Brothers just destroyed all animated movies. So
well, like I said, there's these anomalies,
right.
But yeah, I get it, man.
Something like Flash 6 years ago, would have blown it away. The DC's burnt their bridge.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Now, like I said, it's not that I don't want to see it. I have that thing where I'll wait till or maybe I just wait till it falls on my lap to watch it, and I don't like that.
Avatar. I waited for it to show up and then checked it out over time.
Right? I honestly don't like that. Like, I don't like doing that, but it's just, I don't know. The last 2-3 years have really changed the way we consume, and streaming has changed, because
I feel like it's almost like the 90s again. The early 90s movies just kind of took a nosedive in quality, and I feel like we're in the same rut with lower quality movies, but the streaming isn't helping matters much either, because it's like, you're right. Avatar hit streaming 2 weeks ago, and it's on DVD. I can go over to Target. I saw it at Target today. I'm like,
it's on HBO. You can watch it.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. It's on Disney. These things hit so fast anymore.
Yeah, it used to be like
that was Mario. Mario
Yeah.
was popular, still in the movies, then came out streaming, and then I saw that in Target immediately with like nothing. It's like, oh, here's Mario Brothers movie, and I was like, this thing is everywhere, making its money immediately, and how quick it is, which gives a point.
Mario
to
can hit.
That's always been there.
Yeah,
it's weird how it's doing it now.
Yeah, with the Mario, it can hit all the check marks. It can hit the kid. Hey, it's a quote unquote cartoon for kids. It's nostalgia for us, and it's entertainment. And then it can hit all those things. And with DC, it's like very specific. Like, why do I care about this movie? You know what I mean? And some Marvel is like that too. Spider-Verse, again, kids, cartoons, and families go see it. And
I don't think we're returning to the 90s in the movies, though, because I'm not making out as much in the movies anymore. And that's sad. Yeah. So, maybe if that comes back, then you're right, Scott. But, it is a little bit different.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
what am I thinking?
Right.
Crystal Lee, movies add up too for a family of 4, especially after you have popcorn and drinks. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And it's so funny. Like, for me personally,
I don't take everybody. We got to sneak away.
Yeah.
Quiet. Turn the ring off. Make sure nobody hears. Try and get rid of your popcorn breath by the time you get home.
We live in a changed world on how we consume entertainment and stuff. There's no way we're missing Indiana Jones in the theaters, right? There's no way like us. But there are a lot of people probably like, come on. In 2 months, it'll be on Disney Plus. You know what I mean? And that's such a. I don't know. I never, like I said, we didn't grow up that way. We didn't grow up on that sentiment. Like 6 months, it'll be on VHS, and we'll go see it.
It's Indiana Jones. We're going to be in that theater. We're going to be sitting down with our freaking popcorn. We're going to watch it. I'm going to see it again on Saturday whenever it comes out on DVD. I'm going to buy it, and then I'm going to watch it on Disney Plus whenever I just don't have the time to put the disc in the machine.
Sure. Yeah,
that's Indiana Jones.
We're used to that. We're like, well, the DVD comes. I want to buy the DVD and put it on my shelf, right? So.
Yeah, man. But everybody in here is saying, the flash bombing scares the crap out of them because if it's a good movie, it shouldn't bomb. And and it was a good movie with a lot of really cool cameos and surprises and stuff that blew me away. But at the same time, I don't think Disney. I don't think DC is doing it right. I don't think, especially now that we have a new trajectory with like the announcement of the new Superman and Lois today. I don't think it doesn't matter. Flashpoint.
Nobody gets what they're doing because it didn't matter in the past. And so now this like, okay, from this point, these movies are going to be this whole story, but we're still having these other stories. And so everybody's going theory going, what the hell is this movie about?
Well, and then Scott. No, you're muted. You're muted, Chris.
I said, everything counts now. Here's Joker 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Which doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. It's confusing the hell out of people.
Such a weird formula.
Yeah. So many people that I heard were walking out of The Flash going, what the hell was that? Because I mean, the movie starts off with the Batman. In the middle, there's another Batman. At the end, there's another Batman. Yeah. So awesome. They're not. It was awesome, but they're not, they don't get it. They're not. They were like, well, why was he there? What was? Why was Bruce this?
What are
spaghetti?
Right, spaghetti. Everything. It's all explained. Michael Keaton explains it right there. But it doesn't matter because you're not going to see that Batman ever again. You're not going to see that Bruce Wayne ever again.
Yeah.
So what's the point? And
that's where we're at.
Warner Brothers needed either sell the IP or take a 5-year hiatus on making DC movies, and then come out with this new era of DC.
It's funny that I feel that every movie has to go on further now, though. Isn't that weird? Like when Joker came out, we didn't need a sequel. Man. We really didn't need a sequel, but I was cool with one story. Yeah. You know, we could have been done with it. It's weird that we can't just do that again because everybody must have this big old
Marvel spoiled it for us. I'm telling you, it really did.
And it really is. I saw someone here that DC is late to this party. Shit, DC couldn't get it off the ground in the 90s is the problem. That's hence one of the cameos
very
we got
bad
in the damn
movies.
show. In the movie,
and
you know.
Man, that particular cameo is overplayed in that movie too. It's just
it's perfect. But for that character, it's perfect.
It is. It really is. But even Marvel is starting to suffer from that because even though I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I loved it. It's the best movie they've had in like 5 years. It is great. Nothing else I've watched has been even anywhere near this. Hasn't even been able to top Iron Man 3 in the. I know, right? Nothing has. I even watched. I mean, Secret Invasion was interesting. It held me, and I'm interested to see where it goes. But overall, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's coming out again this week, right?
Yeah. I don't even know what day. I just watch it when I see it.
Yeah, I assume it's Wednesday. Yeah. Probably today.
Probably.
I'm behind on the Marvel shows, like the Disney Plus shows. Yeah, I'm behind, but I don't know.
I'm not, but I forgot. I forget about it. Yeah. So anyway.
We've got way too many Star Wars characters right now floating around in Disney. I'm telling you, they're all. You notice that we got Krennic and Ahsoka.
Yeah. Kira.
We talked about it last time. Kira and here, right? Which is way too many. They're all going to be showing up again.
It's the Disney family now. Yeah.
Yep. Everybody you see in a Disney movie is going to be in a Star Wars movie again. So Mason, I'm telling you,
and vice versa.
Back in there, right? It's just going to. Everybody we've seen before will make a comeback because they're still Disney employees.
That's great because I want more Krennic and I want more Kira. I kind of want more Kira. I just want to know where that story's going.
What makes me happy is that Tom Cruise isn't involved in any of it.
So random. He's the new Tony Stark. You're missing.
Well, because like if you from, why are you a Tom Cruise hater?
Because if Chris is saying we're recycling actors in between the Marvel and Disney Star Wars family, Tom Cruise isn't involved in it, so we're not.
Tom Cruise just has Mission Impossible now, and that movie's coming out in just a couple
Mission
weeks.
Mission Impossible 700. It's fine.
Right.
It's mixed, isn't it? 10?
Part one.
Yeah, no, like the final
like 7.1. Yeah.
Final Fast and Furious Part 1 of 3.
Yeah, I got lost.
Part 1.
Hey, don't knock Fast and Furious. I love it. So
we were at the theater last. We were at the theater last weekend watching Flash, and there was a commercial of the making of Mission Impossible and that big stunt scene where he's on the motorcycle, he takes off, and he goes over they show how it's made, right? And then the trailer starts as soon as the lights go down, and the trailer starts, and this guy sits down who obviously wasn't watching the little commercial ahead of time, and you see the motorcycle go off the cliff, and all you hear is the guy say, "Bullshit."
No, dude,
if you were only here 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm an expert, and I can tell you.
Yeah. That does not.
That dude should not go watch Fast and the Furious then. At all, because
no worries on that, Ernie.
Yeah.
No worries on that, dude.
You're on 10. There's everything, and people know that I love it, so they're constantly sending me those clips of "Come on, Ernie." And I'm like, that's a masterpiece right there. That is great cinematography.
So funny.
You tell me you try and jump out of a car like that. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it is. You just gotta love the chaos.
I saw one of those movies once.
I saw the first one. Yeah, the first one was pretty good.
I was like, why did they make more of these? I don't understand.
I've seen a couple.
Because it's about family. It's all about family.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It is all about family. Rick Jones, James Gunn's Superman cast has been announced. Can't wait. I agree. I think Lois Lane is the perfect casting right there.
That kid looks like a young, great value Cavill.
He does look like a young, great value.
He's the Wish. He's the Wish Cavill.
Both Smallville too. It depends on there's different pictures out there.
You know what? It did. He did look like him too. You're right. So that's perfect then, right? I mean, it's like
exactly. Yeah. But at the same time, you see that, and
those are my two favorite. Those really, I forget about him, but yet somehow he's my favorite. He never was really super for half a second.
Yeah.
But
so I've learned.
I've learned to reserve judgment until I see it, like a trailer or in action.
They're gonna bulk him up a little bit. They'll put some pads on him. The look is right. Lois is right. I'm on. Okay, we're on there. I have no problem. James Gunn's casting, whatever they do, I have zero. That guy, I'm cool, man. Until he proves it wrong, I'm all over it.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. And he does the whole like Sandler thing where he has all his homies in all the movies.
Yeah.
Too. Even if it's a small part or anything, they do all that of the.
He already said Rooker will be in it somewhere, and his brother, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm down for it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I want to see them. Like, yeah. After Guardians 3 and the whole thing that he did there, I'm okay with what he's gonna do, because the whole Guardians movies proves it to me. Each one of those I feel is different. They're all very good, each on their own, and that 3 just gets me. It gets me on the feels and the everything.
And you need to watch the Christmas special in between.
That was hilarious.
Oh, dude!
Yeah. No,
I made
mattered,
everybody.
It mattered
watch
to
that.
the point.
It sure
mattered
did.
to the plot.
Yes.
Yes.
I made everybody come over and watch that this last.
Did
holiday.
you really?
Everybody watched Guardians of the Galaxy. I watched that thing 10 times. I love that
beautiful.
episode.
Nice.
The music, the story, everything. Again,
it was cool.
Everything.
Yeah,
that guy
it was
it.
really cool.
Until he turns it around and screws one up.
That's true, man. Like the guy gets what world building's all about and stuff. So
he's
that's
our age. He gets it. Yeah. He's right in the wheelhouse of what the stuff we like, right?
Yeah.
And that's why he's got a better musical sense as far as what fits into a movie than just about anybody else, because everything really suits the scene.
Well, I said, I think his brain and his heart is in the right direction. I don't know if
too little, too late.
Yeah, it could be where the public's kind of like, I don't know where this is. I don't know what's going on, so I'm just going to avoid it. You know what I mean? Like until it's one big movie.
I think that's a problem with what they were trying to do with the universe too. Build the Justice League and the whole bit. It didn't fail, and then to so suddenly have a brand new Superman.
Well, they did it in 2 movies. With that, it's like 2 movies.
Hey, are you guys into the TV shows? The Flash,
I was.
And what is it?
I watched
all that.
I watched almost every episode of the Flash up to the last 2 seasons. The Superman and Lois show, I watched the first season. I can't go back. It's too.
Well, I was just wondering. I just saw a TikTok last night, and I didn't know it. You know what sucks right now is you don't know what's fan made and you don't know what's real. You know what I'm saying? If there's somebody's point of I can do this, look, and you see it. So what I saw last night was they did the Doomsday story. I saw that Superman fighting Doomsday. Did that really happen in the TV show?
Maybe. I only watched the first season.
Maybe
so they didn't.
Too.
Yeah, maybe.
And it looked pretty good to where I was like, ooh, I gotta watch. I mean, the story just to watch those episodes.
They were hinting at Doomsday in the first season, but it ended up actually being Clark's half brother, who wasn't Zod. Yeah, Clark's got a half brother.
Yeah,
don't even worry about it.
Exactly,
brother from another father. Don't even sweat it.
Yeah. It didn't look like anything there. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know about Rhino's last comment. If the movie is good, the fandom will be behind it, because The Flash was really good,
and Solo was really good.
That's
what was that?
And Solo
was really good. Yeah. And the fandom in subsequent viewings has discovered Solo, and I've heard a lot of people say, "Why didn't I watch this in the theaters?"
Yeah.
But
I think you're right about the fandom, but it takes more than the fandom to.
That's right.
Yeah. To make something a hit anymore. You know what I mean? It's like,
and Flash is a weird situation because we already know ahead of time it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. And it didn't really set us up for anything besides that there is a multiverse. That's the only thing we know, is that it exists on like that, and then
he caused the multiverse. Apparently, that's the way it made it sound. Is his actions started the multiverse?
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. So I don't know. So
although Batman understood it, Bruce already understood that, so it was already existing. So I imagine maybe he didn't. And I don't know.
In theory.
I don't know. It was so weird. Yeah.
Right.
But I do love the cool part was I love that he said, like, I think we talked about this last time, but how he set up the spaghetti like the Marvel timeline. He was in the Loki timeline, and then he said,
Yes.
he said that's not how it works. And then he shifted it. That's funny. Your movie's gonna bomb, but you just told Marvel how to do a multiverse.
I know. It's like, how about you get some footing before you
start bashing on MCU, dude? Hold your punches, buddy. Hold your punches.
See,
which
Ernie,
he's also in.
We can say that we're DC fans,
Marvel.
and we could say that like Marvel was winning. You know what I mean?
By a long shot.
Yeah. In the cinematic universe, Marvel wins. It's the hands down. And we as DC, like I'm more of a DC fan than Marvel fan, and enjoy the hell out of Marvel. But I just think DC has no footing at all in the cinematic universe.
They really
needed
to put a 5-year pause on it.
That's what I'm saying.
They needed a gap. Yeah.
They needed Warner Brothers should have either sold the IP or did a 5-year hiatus to regroup, let people kind of forget about it, and then kick it off with like Flashpoint, or something that was the groundbreaking movie to launch it all. It was just too much in between. Like Chris said, you got this movie, and then boom, Joker 2, and Batman 2, Shazam 2, all these other things coming, and Aquaman 2.
Aquaman is still coming.
No way.
Yeah.
Why? And I heard it's a dumpster fire too.
It's gotta be, dude. It's so
like unwatchable. They said that was I know everything, just like Star Wars, right? Everything.
Yeah, I know everything's on.
But like unwatchable type stuff. Like they're like, what the hell is this mess?
Exactly, dude. I don't know, man. It's just like now that, and I'm like this with Marvel too. I won't watch Morbius. I won't watch. Yeah, and like I hated Venom. I don't, because they don't mean anything. Like they don't mean anything in the story. It's just a standalone. It's Sony. They don't. Deadpool's the only one that's the crossover that means something.
Then right there with you is you are the reason we can't have nice things.
I know.
That's it.
But it's not this. But
that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said a minute ago. We can't have standalone stuff. Sony throws out some standalone Marvel characters. You're like,
I don't like
this.
It.
I don't like it.
It's not Marvel to me.
We can't have nice things.
And Marvel's ruined it for me.
But it is a Marvel thing that is set in the Marvel universe that does not connect to anything Marvel.
That's right. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It stands out there on its own. And
I will be the first to admit that I'm spoiled because of Marvel movies. Now I want everything to connect.
It doesn't work because it needs to connect. It's Venom. It is Spider-Man's arch nemesis. It's the Green Goblin,
most iconic.
The Green Goblin and Venom. Those are the two most iconic Spider-Man villains. And Craven. And Craven's got a movie coming out, I guess. I don't know if it falls. What universe it falls?
Is it
Spider-Man has a great cache of villains. Yeah.
He does.
That's what draws me to Spider-Man.
Cool.
If you're taking Venom, who is probably the most recognizable anti-Spider-Man villain, you throw a garbage dumpster
and you give me those two movies as like, I'm like, okay.
But we got Woody Harrelson as
Carnage.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah. All right. With that, I think.
No.
Yeah, guys, did you see, I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Last rumor on Marvel stuff, just because it's fun. Because this is my favorite stuff that I'm waiting for. We got Deadpool coming. Right?
Yeah.
And Mobius is going to be in it, right? Word on the street was Affleck as Daredevil, because it's a multiverse show. He's going to break the multiverse. Remember in 2 he had the thing he's fucking around. There's one. And it's going to break it, and he's going to bring in Ben Affleck as Daredevil, just at least as a cameo. So all these movies are goofy, and I think that'd be hilarious and perfect for Deadpool.
There needs to be in the background. There has to.
Daredevil.
In the background, there has to be a Batman cowl somewhere in Daredevil's apartment.
A poster. Oh, he wouldn't even need to use blind.
Oh, a Batman poster.
A poster.
In Daredevil's apartment. That makes no sense.
Like I said, I might be in the minority. I actually enjoyed the Affleck Daredevil.
I do too. I love Affleck's Daredevil. I'm not.
The poster could work because he could say, somebody said this is my poster. And same thinking it's Daredevil and it's a Batman one. That was implied. Do you get what I'm saying? So that would be the perfect.
What's wrong with you, Ernie? What is wrong with you, man?
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Or Deadpool's the one to give it to him. You can have your own poster.
Yep.
And then throws it up.
He has him sign a picture of Batman.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
As an autograph.
I mean, they did the Green Arrow thing where he shot Ryan Reynolds from like signing the Green Arrow. All right, Green Lantern contract. Not Arrow. You know what I mean? So I mean, they could poke fun, and I think that would be hilarious.
I think that's coming. So I think that rumor's got some weight. So that's going to be fun. I can't wait for that movie. That's my non-Star Wars wait list right there. Is Deadpool 3.
Yeah. Like
When's
I
that
said,
supposed to hit?
I think it's sooner than later. It moved it up, so
Oh, cool.
early next year, maybe.
Nice.
Maybe spring.
Oh, and I thought around Christmas.
They moved it up 6 months, so whatever they moved it up.
Oh.
Maybe it's to June then. But everything else they moved back like 3, and they moved it up 6.
Yeah. All right, guys. Cool.
Right.
Well, thank you everybody for hanging with us tonight and bearing with us as we delve into all the Star Wars stuff going on, and of course, our pop culture lives that we live and everything. And so, happy Indiana Jones Eve as we go see Dial of Destiny tomorrow. I'm anxious to see people's comments and reactions, and I'm anxious to talk about it amongst ourselves too. So
I'm kind of not anxious to see what people react to. I'm kind of not anxious to see what they say.
Yeah, exactly. It's already out there, by the way. No one's seen it, and they have a reaction. So it's.
I did a 1-minute toy review where I said, "Oh, look, this is this character. I don't know anything about her. And I don't give a shit that you don't know anything about her and think she sucks." So there we go.
Yeah, it's already a horrible 5 seconds of trailer footage, but
he has a lady in every single movie, every one. It doesn't make any sense to be mad about it. Everyone,
exactly,
and all of them are pretty strong.
Yeah, As long as, like I said, as long as it gives you that Indiana Jones feel as you want to step out of the theater and you want to go on adventures. That's what the goal of Indiana Jones is, and as long as you get that going out of it, I think it's achieved its goal. So but yeah, guys, so everybody, thank you so much. I'm going to kick it off to Ernie to kick us out of here. Thank you everybody in the pit. We will see you again next Wednesday as we delve into a lot more whatever's out there. I'm going to be dropping the status of the Star Wars toys, like the status report for July or June going into July as we go into Comic-Con.
And we should start our little Rebels rewatch here soon too to get ready for Ahsoka.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna really close.
Yeah, come once we have like that 30-day countdown to Ahsoka, I think that would be a perfect time.
We got to hit Rebels and Heir to the Empire trilogy. Go to all
absolutely
in and do a couple weeks of that.
Maybe a hot topic is in there too. That it's like I do want.
Yeah.
I do want. All right, cool guys. Well, everybody, thank you again. Ernie, kick us out of here.
Yeah, thank you guys very much, everybody in the pit, for joining in to the conversation tonight. All of those on the replay crew watching this, drop your comments below. As always, hit that thumbs up. And if you are new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and hit all so you don't miss when all of this great content that we talked about will be shown here, because we do just have more than the Wednesday night show. Please follow us on all of our social medias, from TikTok to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for 24/7 Star Wars talk on our Sarlacc Digest Central page. Jump in there for lots of cool stuff. Thank you to tonight's sponsor, Tashi Station Emporium. Use the code Sarlacc Digest to receive 10% off your next order, and maybe a fingernail in there this time. I don't know. Get some type of something from Marco in there besides a thank you.
Possibly a beard there.
There's too much hair. Yeah,
Very
you
possible.
got some back last time, so see what happens. That's a freebie.
Yeah.
We've learned that
it's funny. People stop returning them too. I don't know.
They're
making their own moocher.
They're
out
cloning
there.
you.
Yeah, trying to sell it now. So again, Tashi Station Emporium for all your figure stand needs on all your figures. I mean, from Black Series to Turtles to He-Man to horror to everything, and especially right now, get your Space Walls, Blast Doors, and much more with great things to come. Check out his last post. You can find it on Instagram of what's to come.
The only stand that can make this piece of crap figure stand up.
I had to make a special Momoth stand because their feet are on the end of it. It's like, come on.
To make it happen.
Can you get a Saw Gerrera figure right next to her on that same stand with like his hand behind her head? Like,
in there.
Yeah. Do something.
Right there. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks to everybody out there on the Red 5 Network. Check them out as well, too. We are a part of that. And if you're looking for some funny content out there on TikTok, check out Nebulous B on his page, and he's got just hilarious stuff. You can find us on all our socials right there at Darth Moocher, Tashi Station Emporium, The Art of Scott Solo. You got Darth Dad, Bootleg Joe, and I Am the Fallen Fett. If you haven't yet, check out my show. Hit the subscribe button. I'm really close to 500. Hopefully before Comic-Con. I greatly appreciate that. The link is there. If you need some more toy news, check out They're Not Dolls with the Toy Migos, which I'm a part of. And then speaking of toy shows, if you guys want to, I know that Tashi Station is going to be there come the third Saturday in August. So you have enough time. Let's do a toy meetup. I know it's kind of far away, but we have some of our people in the pit who live in all different areas still here in SoCal. Out there in Montebello off of Whittier Boulevard. It's called California Boba. It's by Keeping the Art Alive out there. They do this third Saturday all the time, and it's all different, from artists to crafters and everything. Your basic street fair. But he got with me, found out what I do and what's going on, and he wants to have a toy meetup one. And I was like, heck yeah, let's do this. I know enough people, so everybody go out there. The spots are very cheap. You get your little, 6-foot table out there, sell whatever it is, and I think it's a time for us to enjoy, chat, hang out with each other, and check out everybody's toys, and make a little extra cash while we're hanging out and saying what's up to everybody. It has great foot traffic. There's food vendors, artists, like I said, a DJ, live bands. It's a cool 5 hours to go and kick it. So if you want more info, DM me and I'll have that for you. And again, that's the third Saturday in August. So enough for you to set up and come out and say hello. And if you haven't yet, it's your perfect chance to get all that Tashi Station stuff, from stands to the doors to everything.
You buy the
you have
figures
time
from these
to start
guys
printing
and you get
now.
stands. Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly.
That's exactly how it works. So check that out. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Yes, that was like a question. See you next week.
Yeah. No, you guys are just super excited for Indy. Like I'm super jealous. So
exactly.
I'm already in the theater watching it.
Yeah.
This is a fake background right
This
here.
is all pre-recorded, by the way. We just
time to go Mimi's. One last sleep before Indy, and then you guys get to enjoy it. So
cool. Woo! Yeah, no problem. Well, with that, Scott,
keep it nerdy, everybody, and it's not the age, it's the mileage.